see a big difference. Now,
and we did a lot of this.
She was going, no! I was going, I think, frankly, that the truth is, either one's going to make you very happy. If you consider where you're putting it, if you're in a brighter room, if you're going to watch in the daylight, you should look at LCD. If you're in a darker room, you should look at plasma. Both of them may make great strides. I think really what's the really significant thing is that we're talking about LCD and plasma, which used to be the high price spread. I used to tell people, go out and get a rear projection DLP, you're going to get more bang for your buck, they're going to look great. It's hard to say that anymore. They're great, but the prices have fallen so much in plasma that for, you know, $500 more, you're going to get a screen that just jumps at you. And do yourself a favor, take a look at either LCD or plasma, at these new TVs. They just jump at you. You just say, wow, that really looks good.
And I mean, there's going to be people out there who have more than one TV in their home, and it might make sense to have something like an LCD in a smaller room, and then have the plasma for your room where you're watching DVDs and playing games.
Let's raise gaming, because that is an issue. And LCDs really are slower. I don't, you know, and this is again going down to that technology. That shutter can't turn. The way they measure this is something called response time, which is the amount of time it takes a pixel to go from fully off to fully on and fully off again. And because of the shutter effect on LCD, they've sped them up, but it's maybe down to 9 milliseconds, maybe 7 milliseconds. It is not instant. A CRT, your old tube TV, is instant. A plasma is instant.
But does that, I mean, people playing video games, is it that critical, or is it only some games?
I think on action films, on sports, and on video games, I think you're going to see some smearing. You're going to see some, if you look really closely between an LCD and a plasma, you're going to see some smearing on the LCD. You're going to see, you know, I'll be honest, I have the PS3 hooked up to the Sharp Aquos, I have the Xbox 360 hooked up to the plasma. Okay, excuse me, I like the game. And it's not like people are saying, oh please, let's move the PS3 over to the plasma. I mean, it looks awfully good.
And you know, it's funny that you mentioned it's hard to tell the difference really walking down the aisle there. I always find it's hard to tell the difference between 720p, 1080i, I mean, granted my eyesight is going as I get older, but why don't we first, if you could, Amber, talk about what those numbers mean, and then let's talk about which one is better.
Maybe Leo, you can get into
I've done this interlace versus progressive stance speech once or twice. So in the old days of TV, when there was CRT TV, engineers had to solve a problem. They were actually sending too much data to the screen. The screen couldn't keep up. So they came up with, I think, a very clever idea called interlacing. The screen never drew the whole picture. It drew half the picture. They'd draw the odd number lines, and then would go back and draw the even number lines. And